Hello, hello, and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2. Today, we're going to be expanding on this park from the previous episode. Now, this is sort of just a series that I'm going to be doing on my own time to, between making a huge documentary that is absolutely exhausting, because that's just what university does to people, I guess. In the previous episode, we made this little Edmontosaurus enclosure with a nice viewing wall, and the Edmontosauruses are bastards. They have no reason to escape, but for some reason, they really like trying to escape. So, unfortunately for me, I'm going to, until I figure out why the hell they're doing this, Put it back on normal. Because I have a feeling I might have a mod that's messing with their behavior and making them want to break out. Let me just check this. You seem to be a problem. I put you over here. Okay, they all just really want to escape. That is what I'm getting out of this. So, I guess, as annoying as it is, I'll just be setting it to no escapes. And they'll still do it anyways. For some unknown reason. Which is strange, because I have no mods for the behavior on them, but alas, here we are. But today, we're going to be expanding the park out this way. And so, let's get our path once more. And we're going to be doing some expansion. Now, what exactly does expansion entail? That is the question that is now on my mind. So what exactly does this expansion, what exactly is it going to bring about for us? Well, I'm thinking that we finally start into a Jurassic section. So we're going to have this park pretty split up by eras. So we're going to start on a Jurassic era. Question now is, what do we place in here? Thinking something from the Jurassic. So maybe I'm thinking a carnivore. I think a carnivore off rip here would be a good move. But the question of who, which one of you do I like? Not a lot of Jurassic animals to choose from, come to think of it. I think an Allosaurus is a bit too early for. You don't see lions that early on in a... Actually, this is a pretty massive area. I'm thinking another large herbivorous section. But unlike the previous one, I'm going to be doing something a little unique with it. It'll be subaquatic. Now. Let me get the water tool. Or the water decoration from one of the many, many mods. If I can find it. Unless I don't have it. Oh, there it is. Placeable water. Now that we have water, it's a matter of now placing a fence that we can feasibly, the audience should be able to look through for the water. So we will be using these lovely lagoon. Ooh, these might be a bit too short. Oh no. Using the lagoon glass here. Forgive me if you hear music in the background. My roommates are very, very passionate about the playing their music at obscene levels of volume, and then blaming me and my friends for it. Which, I guess that's just how it is sometimes. Ooh. Can I get that there to make it look good? Not quite my tempo. So, we now have this little area here that needs to be fenced up. So, we'll be using the big concrete fences from the base game and hope that they're tall enough. Well, they're not tall enough. So. We have to use something else. But first order of business that I should have done before placing anything down is giving these barriers, because they are not real. So let me get the electrified fence. Or not the invisible fences. There we go. So, the audience can't see that that's not really water. But just because they can't see it doesn't mean it's a problem that should not be fixed by the all-powerful creator that is myself in this video game. I would like to add some plant life in there so that it does, actually attract our lovely sauropods, because this will be a sauropod exhibit. Because I think that it would be pretty neat, and, it would be kind of similar to some very, lovely classic paleo art if we had a, bunch of sauropods in the water. Oh, not like that. So keep that there. A big old slope. Oh, come on. There we go. big as a Brachiosaurus. Big enough. That's good. But it'll be wandering through there, and it'll look pretty decent. Okay, so I'm thinking Brachiosaurus, Camarasaurus, and not Stegosaurus. Let me check the... I can never remember if the InGen database has what dinosaurs like who. Oh, it does not. Well, I guess we'll have to figure it out. All the sauropods are incredibly drab in this game, which it's not particularly inaccurate, but it is just kind of boring. That's not bad. Nice green. I'm thinking we get 5. 1 default gray, and 1 plain orange. This could be a fun one to add. Because while the default 93 Brachies are incredibly plain, the 2001 ones are quite vibey. I'm thinking that one. Yeah, get one of those for some sexual dimorphism. You know what, we'll get 2. Yeah, 2's good. 6 Brachiosauruses. They all need forest. And more trees. So, thinking we have a few spots of trees around there. So that it's a little more blended. Now. I would like to turn this into a little river formation that goes around everything. Okay, so I would now like to start making another little area for viewing. Let's do another invisible wall. And we'll turn this into some kind of viewing area. Now, we can pretend that that water is deep enough that guests won't... Yes, you're very loud. We can pretend that water is deep enough that the Brachiosauruses won't cross it, and instead we'll now be making a fence more so the guests don't jump in. Or at least to give us that, you know, illusion that they're not gonna jump in. I could have sworn I'm in the wrong section. We're gonna use these Jurassic World Dominion walls that come from the default game. That's nice. So you look through, there's the Brachiosauruses at the Brachiosaurus sign, and you are still needing more nut. Huh. I guess I'll put more by the water here. There is more nut over there, so they can go and get it when they wish. Now, what I am curious about now... Okay, one, I'm going to raise up the semi-aquatic area, because I'm realizing this might be too low now. Because you're probably never going to... You want to be looking... like, into the water, but also into the exhibit itself. And I find that to be not really possible when it's all underwater. There we go. That's nice. So, when you are a guest, you can look into the glass and see absolutely nothing because they hate me. Or what we'll also have is some viewing platforms that'll go just above it. Here. That'll fit in like so. Damn it. Too far. So now can enter through there, look over the pool, or look into the pool. I think that's pretty neat. I think that's a pretty unique way to view our creatures. Some more rocks. To sort of tidy things up just a wee bit. A wee bit. What am I? Some kind of European, like every other dinosaur channel in the fucking planet is? No. No, no, no. We are a, unfortunately, American channel. And not horribly proud to be so. Well, let's go with a viewing path here. We'll go in concrete here, just so we differentiate from the non-viewing path. Nope. Come on. Come on. Okay. Or don't. And you can actually see from the water, and they do a little exploring into the water, and that's quite nifty, quite neat, if I do say so myself. And they're going to continue to complain about the nuts, because they're going to continue to ignore that entire side of the exhibit, or the... Huh. What happened here? Let's fix that. There we go. Anyhow, let me close the park. But yeah, you can see them from inside the water. I don't believe that that's saved as part of the recording, but they are visible from within the water. Now, I want to do a little bit of TLC to the viewing area right here, because I feel like it looks a little dumb. So just really quickly, I'm gonna grab some rocks. Yeah, that's a little nifty, little neat. And now I'm just gonna grab one of them and chuck them over here, just so that, hopefully, there we go. They're at 96%. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Alrighty. Alrighty, alrighty. Gotta be real careful to teeter on the edge of too much and too little. Actually, I can definitely put some more over here so that they're more incentivized to come over to the water. And just like that, a perfect habitat for way too many Brachiosauruses. But we have this little plaza here, and it would make sense to actually make that a comfortable space. Some much needed shade for our viewers to look into the Brachiosaurus exhibit. Just so they're not always in the blistering sun. I don't really think Germany has blistering heat, but, you know, what do I know? I make dinosaur videos on the internet. And for actual class. Which, maybe I should cut down on that, but hey, I have yet to have a professor call me out on, doing way too much dinosaur stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a... Ha ha ha. That's an idea. Not a particularly good idea, but it is an idea nonetheless. What if instead of just the tiered viewing system up there, we have another way up? Get an ATM and some vending machines. They're not functional, or not vending machines, but I guess we'll do some vendors at the major attraction. So let's get an ice cream shop right here, and an ATM right here. And then on the flip, we'll get a hot dog stand. Because why not? Right there. Right where that fence should be. Now, some benches. That will go around. Actually, before we add the benches, don't know why I said it like that. I'm gonna add some fence around the little museum attraction. Just for the sake of, one, aesthetic, but two, so people don't climb all over the damn skeletons. Because we paid a cool mint for those. I think people say mint. They're talking about how things are expensive. A very cold, very frigid mint for the for those skeletons. Let's put a planter there to cover up a little mistake. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. And this one is this one's a pretty quite a happy one. Let's fix up some of these rocks. There we go. We're going to ignore the fact that the fences have petting zoo signs. We're going to pretend that you can't see those. And now, some benches. And some trash cans. It's a little place where people can sit if they wish and look into our exhibit with the Brachiosaurus. And if they go up the stairs, we get a good close look at them going into the water. I am quite happy with this and how this turned out. Look at that. That is so cool. That is so much cooler than anything else I have done in this game. Look at that. Oh, I wish that the binoculars mod that Kyodenic is releasing would be out, so that we could place the utilities down and there'd be binoculars that people could look into if they were ever actually able to come up here. And then you come to the side, an even higher area. You know, get a Brachiosaurus information sign and get an even taller look. But not as tall as if we were to go into the viewing gallery, which would have a price tag attached to it. Because unfortunately, we are trying to make money in this park. Yeah, very unfortunate. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit of cover up right now. Because I'm noticing that I can fix a slight mistake that or not mistake, but happy accident, but an incredibly happy accident I made with the path. We're just shimmying that over, and just like that, you no longer really notice that that path isn't perfectly aligned. And it kind of flows with the path very nicely. And those pillars reach the bottom. Beautiful. Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. I'm actually quite proud of that. It's probably the coolest thing I've made in this game. Which is just quite sad. But it's a very limited game, so what can you do? Now, I do want to fix these because I just noticed that it was messed up. So, give me the fences, give me the smallest brush I have. And let me just fix that outside there. That's all nice, and that's not particularly nice. Come on. No. Alright, it's fine. It is fine. And just like that, it seems that our Brachiosaurus exhibit is complete. So, gonna take a quick look through what it would actually be like to enter into the park. So I will be right back in just a moment as I put a few signs up. So now, here we are. This is the park entrance. And as we walk on past, we have here the Edmontosaurus exhibit with the disappearing glass walls. And as we move on, we can either go in one of two ways. We can go towards the shops and the restrooms, or as we continue along, we have this nice pool that is undecorated, but it is a nice little pool there. Or we can go across this bridge into the Jurassic, which we can't actually go across because we are not a guest. So we're gonna pretend that we went over the bridge. Huzzah! We've been over the bridge. And now we are faced by a concrete wall with the bellowings of some mysterious creature. And, you know, we'll have something on this side too. I'm thinking maybe having the Stegosaurus and Diplodocus in an exhibit right next to the Brachiosauruses, because I think that that would be just really cool. But, as you can see here, the buildings, the ruins of something. And as we look in, we see the kingdom of the Brachiosauruses. And just like that, we have a little sign with information. We can pretend that it's giving information on what exactly Brachiosaurus is. But yeah, we have some information here, but it seems none of the Brachiosauruses want to come up to us by the lake here. But, luckily for us, this is not the only viewing area in which we can see the Brachiosauruses. So as we head down here into this rocky cavern with a massive lump in the path, we can see into the pool. You can grab a nice tasty glizzy there, or you can get your grimy faces up close to the glass and see absolutely nothing. Or you can take a seat under these beautiful sauropod skeletons. Or let's see if we can see any from within the tank right now. It seems like we can't. But if you need some shade, you can always find yourself under here to look in. Oh, a few fish. How quaint. How queer. Some fish swimming about in this pool, which is yeah. Or we can head up to this tiered system, which we won't do just yet. But we can then go into this viewing tower, where we can get a nice air-conditioned and elevated view of our Brachiosauruses. How lovely, with the sun reflecting directly into my eyes. But yeah, that'll be that. As we exit, we can go up these stairs. Get a nice little photo op by the Jurassic Park sign. And just like that, there are the Brachiosauruses on this platform right here. I'm really happy with how this exhibit came out. Look, you can see them interacting with each other and being all Brachiosaurus-y. It's actually quite cool. I'm pretty shocked at how well the water and everything blends together. It actually feels like it's all part of one exhibit, and, you know, ignoring the flickering, it feels like it all really belongs together, and I'm quite happy with it. But we can go even higher up this very, very safe ladder. As we head up the very safe stairs, get an even better look at our Brachiosauruses. And a mysteriously unrendered one. There we go. Oh. Don't know what's going on with the level of detail there. But alas, there are the Brachiosauruses. That's really quite lovely, and I think that might be the thumbnail of the video. Gotta think about YouTube things. But yeah, that is just about everything. So now I'm just gonna capture some beauty shots and get a good look at what the inside of the enclosure looks like.